Andrea from Boxes for Andrea, and today I want to talk a little bit about my series Add a Movement to Your Day. I started a series in January 2025, and I want to share why I started this series, how this came about, and how you can use it to help you move more and better every day. So I have always done some form of exercise most days of the week. For many years, I worked out for an hour, either at 5 or 6 a.m. And I also sat for many hours without getting up for the rest of the day. So it was not uncommon for me to sit for 4 or 5, I think up to 6 hours at one point, if I was grading papers or prepping for a class or working on a project. And obviously that is very bad. The older I get, the more I started to feel the consequences of that. I felt really stiff when I was trying to get up. I had aches and pains when I got up in the morning, and so on. So I really took a good look at what I was doing, and I had to acknowledge that it was really bad what I was doing, that I was sitting for such long periods of time and that I wasn't getting up. And I started by setting a timer for every 60 minutes and, moving around every 60 minutes. And what I found was that initially it was sort of difficult to come up with what to do. And eventually I decided I was going to do my mobility practice as part of my movement breaks. And that really made a difference because now my movement breaks had a purpose. So when I do my movement breaks, I do one joint at a time. I either start up at the top at my neck, or I start at the ankles and I move up or down the body. And again, one joint per movement break. And it's really an easy way to get my mobility practice done. And doing a consistent mobility practice really makes a big difference in how I feel and how I move, and for injury prevention and all sorts of things. And then I realized if I had some sort of movement that I could just go back to, it was really helpful. So if I, for example, in the morning said, okay, today throughout the day, I will do jumping jacks. This made it a no-brainer. So I would do my mobility practice first. Once I was done with that, the other movement breaks, I would just do jumping jacks. And I also found ways to really turn this into fun little challenges. So for example, I would write down how many jumping jacks I did in one day, and then I would try to beat that the next day or the next week or whenever I was doing the same thing again. So at this point, I try to move every 30 minutes. I say try because it doesn't happen every 30 minutes necessarily. It doesn't happen every day, but it's a good goal to have. And so my series has different movement suggestions for you. So I encourage you to look at it, and I encourage you to pick one every day that works for you, and you can, alternate just among a few of them. And what I'm hoping that it does for you is really look at how much you move throughout the day, and also to see how much movement you can actually get done throughout the day. And it shouldn't be all in one 45-minute or 1 hour workout session. But, if you do, for example, micro walks throughout the day, if you can take 5 minutes every hour, or you take 5 minutes, or even there's 2 or 3 minutes to walk up and down a staircase, things like that, it really can add up by the end of the day. And it really, I believe, will make you feel better. Your joints and everything. I think they can really benefit from consistent movement throughout the day. I hope you're having a great day and keep moving. Bye now.